All right, guess who's back? Back again. Elrod's back. Tell a friend. Today I'm gonna get to work cutting out that outer wheelhouse on that side. Then I can clean up the rust in there, spread some epoxy, and mount the new outer wheelhouse. Let's get cracking. All right, let's open it up and see what we got. Come on. There we go. Get out of here, junk. Oh, yeah. Just a little bit of surface rust there. Doesn't look too bad. Up along and through here actually looks really good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Just a little quality time with the wire wheel. Ought to have that spick and span in no time. Put it around here. Scrape some of the dust out of here. And see what we're really dealing with. Oh yeah, she looked good. Looks pretty good. Down here in this corner, might be a little different story. The weld here was pretty gnarly, but you know what? Let's clean this up, see what we're working with. Okay, I'm just cleaning off the flange from that old outer wheelhouse. Take a look. Here's what I cut out of there. And you'll see it's got 7 plug welds and a little bit of lap weld there, if it'll focus. And up in here, as I was cutting that off, here's the back side of it. Only 2 of the plug welds actually held on anything. So I'm really glad that I'm up here fixing this. So let's get that cleaned off and get the metal cleaned up and make it look good. Okay, I got the metal all cleaned off on the inside here. It's looking real good. It does have a few holes in it that they had previously drilled that I will weld up. I also cleaned up this guy right up in here. It's looking pretty good. Again, it's got a little hole, a couple little holes right in there that need to be welded shut, but other than that, it looks pretty good. Swing around to the inside. Yeah, I took a wire wheel, cleaned this area up in here. It's got a little bit of pitting, but I mean, it's really not bad at all. And it looks great up around the fender lip there. And then we get down over here. Rearrange my light here a little bit. That's better. Yeah, this area here doesn't look too terrible. I'll probably sandblast in here a little bit just to get the rust right out of the corners. Clean that up real nice. And then, who knows? I might even fit this guy in there. Let's go ahead and throw this in there and give it a try. All right, I got that new outer wheelhouse just kind of setting up into place. It's looking pretty good. However, the lip on it does need to be squished in down around here. It's not back in far. It's not that way quite far enough. But if I flatten that a little bit, it should sit up here just fine. Let's give that a try. Okay, with a little persuasion, I got that lip mashed in a little bit. It's fitting a lot better than it was. I think I'm ready to go ahead and mark the spots for the plug welds around the fender well there. I went ahead and threw this trunk floor drop off in here just to make sure that it fits in there okay. I can mark this out for plug welds and pull it off there and get it ready to go in. Okay, I got this outer wheelhouse all drilled out. It's looking pretty good. I also drilled out the fender lip here where I want my plug welds to go. I'm gonna sandblast in this hard to reach area real quick, get that cleaned up good, and then I can weld up any little holes that I've got. Like there's a hole, there's some holes up in this guy, and up in this guy, so we'll get those welded up after we sandblast that stuff. So let's do that. Okay, I sandblasted in here, got that cleaned up good, and then I welded up the holes in all the flanges everywhere. Now I can get to scuffing the inside of this and cleaning it up, as well as I want to get some of this black goo off of here, just up above where the trunk floor drop-off sits, and then I can put epoxy primer on everything down in here, as well as that wheelhouse, and have it ready to be welded in. Let's do that. Okay, I got the outer wheelhouse here all scuffed up, ready for epoxy primer. I also scuffed up the inside there. Let's see if I can find a good angle here to show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, I got that all scuffed up good, up and around there, looking pretty good. Before I spread epoxy primer on this, I want to hit this back end here with a little bit of the fast etch, and just make sure that all of that the little bit of rust pitting that's in there, make sure all that rust is dead, as well as right up in that guy right there. Make sure that's all cleaned up. Okay, I hit this area here with the fast etch, cleaned up all the rust. It's looking real good. And I came back and scuffed it up, neutralized it with some acetone, and then scuffed it up with a Scotch-Brite pad. It's looking real good up and around there and down into over here. Hit this with fast etch, same process. Let's mix up some epoxy primer and start spreading. Okay, I got this all masked off where I don't want epoxy primer. Mixed up some epoxy primer. I wiped everything down with this Spray Max 1K wax and grease remover. It works really good. I'm really impressed with it. But yeah, let's get that on there. Okay, I got this guy coated in epoxy. All of the weld flanges and areas that I'm going to be welding to, I hit with weld through primer. I also did epoxy in here. All in there, up and around and down, and then as well the flanges in there, hit those with weld through primer. So let's clamp her up there and get her welded into place. Let's do that. Okay, got her all clamped up here, through that trunk floor drop off in there. I hate welding through weld through primer, so I test fit it, then I marked where all my plug welds were going to be, and then I wiped off the weld through primer, so I've got nice bare metal to weld to. And yeah, I can start welding this baby in there. Let's do it. Okay, got her all welded in here. I ground down most of the welds, like I did along this flange here. I did that fender lip, got those ground down. They're gonna need some touch up. There's some pinholes and stuff like that. These guys here I ground down a little bit. They'll be a lot easier to touch up and grind again after this thing's on the rotisserie. That way I'm not welding upside down. Let's go ahead and throw that mini tub in here and test fit it. Get it to see how it's gonna look. Yep. Okay, mini tub's in here. It's looking pretty good. One thing that I noticed is that it's not straight across the bottom along with the rocker like it is on this side. This side over here looks better in that area, but this one here looks better back in this area. Let's take a look. Yep. The seam looks pretty nice going up around. If I swing around over here, you can see, sorry about that. It's looking pretty good until you get right back in here, and then it kind of deviates and it's got a little gap to it. The rest of it's not too bad, but right there. I could probably clamp this shut, but I want to show you the other side real quick. We'll take a look at this mini tub where it's fitting pretty good. Give me a sec. Yeah, it's fitting pretty good down in here. The seam looks good all the way up and around. And then you get back here and it gets really gappy, really gappy. And like, yeah, I can clamp that shut, but then that draws this side in, and I don't like that. So I'd rather have it fit in here real nice than have it kind of clamped in and pooey. Let me think about it. Okay, after just a few minutes of thought here, just kind of looking at this and playing with it, I think what I should do is come up here where this gap is and actually split this mini tub just kind of close to the flange here as I can get all the way down, pull it over and mate it up to this flange here, and then cut a piece of metal and fill it in. Now, I want to do this to both sides so that I make sure that my wheel tubs are even and centered on the car. And I'm gonna think about this a bit more. I'll go ahead and post this video. Tell me what you think. What do you think I should do here? I'm anxious to hear it. Anyway, thanks.